Hey guys, this is Brett from Early Days Productions, and we're here today to show you how to repair CDs and DVDs without using a machine. So this can be done very inexpensively. And actually, all you're going to need are different grits of sandpaper, but as deeply scratched as this one is, you start out with 1500 sandpaper. And what I use behind the sandpaper is you want to use a little piece of foam. In this case, it's another piece of sandpaper that has a foam backing on it. And you use that. That allows the sandpaper not to make deep gouges into the DVD or CD, which obviously would make it even harder for it to play properly. So starting out with 1500, just going to lightly rub the surface, and I do this in a relatively circular motion. And what I mean by circular is it's still back and forth, but as I'm going back and forth, I'm also moving around the disc in a circular motion. Uh, what you don't want to do is you don't want to rub it like this in a completely circular motion. The reason being is when you create scratches on a disc, especially circular ones, it has a much harder time reading that information through the circular scratch than it does through a straight scratch. So again, you want to keep a horizontal motion, but doing it all the way around the disc here. And I do that usually about 4 times or so. Then the next piece of sandpaper that I'll use will be either a 5000 or a 7000. Um, and again, I use that foam backing and using exactly the same path. Go around the disc again about 3 or 4 times. You do that until you can tell that the disc has been sanded in every spot on the face of the disc here. Okay. And I'm sure you can't see that extremely well, but most of the deep scratches have come out. Then the next piece of sandpaper, I'm actually going to use what I just used as my foam backing. It's actually a piece of 5000 sandpaper. Now these last two pieces of sandpaper are pretty much your most important pieces of sandpaper. And these are special kind. I get these on Amazon. They're not real expensive. I think they're like $7 or something like that. But compared to a machine, it's much cheaper. And all you need is you cut off a little rectangle or square. And this is 5,000. No, I might be wrong on that. This might be 3,000. Um, but anyways, you can find it on Amazon. It's called Trizac, and what you want is the 3,000, 5,000. If there's a 7,000, you'd want that. Any of the higher grits you'd want because those will leave the least amount of scratches on the disc. So these are actually what we use to polish the disc. So again, using the same motion, we're going to do the with this foam piece. And try to use the same motion and the same route each time. And again, we do it about 3 or 4 times. And what we're doing now should start to take away the bigger scratches and to finish off the disc here. And then the last piece we use is, again, another 3M Trizac piece. And I think this is 5,000. It's not actually written on the back, but I believe this is a 5,000. But you want the higher grit numbers. These are actually sandpaper that you use for detailing on a car or such. They're meant to leave a very fine surface when you're done. So, and again, just like the other times, we're going to use the same course and the same action, except when we get to the very end. We're going to do this about 3 or 4 times. And then at the very end, I'm just going to go through the entire surface, across the entire surface. I don't know if you can see that. So when you're done, the surface should look a lot better. So that's basically it. That's basically how you do it. You can use your cleaner like we showed you in the previous video and clean off the DVD with your chamois towel, and it should play great. If it plays better, but obviously it doesn't play all the way through, you just repeat the steps that we just did until you get it to what you want. If by the end you don't really like the fine scratches that are on there, because it will, obviously it's sandpaper, it will leave fine scratches at the end. You can buy a buffing machine, and a good one would cost you, a good one but not a great one, you don't need a $1,000 machine. A good $100 machine would buff that so that it looked brand new. And one of the nice things if you do use a machine, by using this technique with the sandpaper, you'll save a lot on the pads and things for your machine, because it'll be a lot easier for it to clean it from this point than it would to clean it from where it was originally before we used the sandpaper. So either way, I generally don't use the machine because this works great just the way it is. But this will work for not only CDs, DVDs, it'll also work for games, just about any media, as long as the um, data has not been affected. If the scratch is actually on the back side, on the where the information is kept, then most likely no matter what you do, your DVD or CD or such is not going to work. In the case that the data is intact and all it is the front of the surface that's scratched on the CD, this works like a charm. Please check us out on Facebook, and remember that we're sponsored by Early Days Productions, where you can find used and new DVDs and CDs. And thanks a lot for watching us. All right, bye-bye.